Hello, JoJo's. Hello, JoJo's, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me for this special JoJo's Part 5 review number 2, I just have our poser extraordinaire, Natai.
That was your second try and it was still gay as fuck.
I know. The first one was even worse, and we will never, ever hear it again.
John,
so, yeah.
please.
John, please, please, no.
This was supposed to be a monthly show, right, Alex?
I said it, the first one we did was allegedly monthly, but yes, this is our second review, only about 2 or 3 weeks late. This particular Part 5 review is going to cover very specifically episodes 7 through 13 of the Part 5 anime in particular.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen our first review,
Go listen to it.
Go listen to that first. And, keep listening to the ones we're going to do, quote-unquote, monthly after this.
Totally gonna be consistent about it.
Yeah, no, never. But yeah, okay, so for context, when we actually came out with the first review, we had actually recorded that the day after, I believe, that episode 7 had aired, but you hadn't seen it yet, and I was really disappointed that we were really disappointed that I couldn't talk about it. But since I know you have seen it now, we have to talk about the best part of episode 7, one of the best things that happened in 2018, and what made part 5 worth a 2-year wait: the fucking torture dance.
Vocal percussions on a whole level
coming from my mind.
God damn, boy.
So for those of you who are anime-only watchers, I do want to preface this heavily. That entire scene is 4 whole panels in the manga. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And David Productions, bless David Productions, they strung that out into an entire 60-second scene in the anime, and it is so good.
It's glorious. My God, it's probably the best scene of 2018.
See, you didn't know that was coming.
Nope.
But as someone who did know it was coming, they blew it out of the water. I mean, I couldn't have imagined it going any better than it did. So the music that they used, it's technically an original piece of music, which, by the way, if you haven't yet, go listen to the whole song. It's glorious.
Hey, Alex, if people want to listen to it, what's the name of that song?
Oh God, I forgot.
It's actually
I didn't know there was going to be a follow-up question.
I don't remember the Italian name, because of course they named every song in the soundtrack in Italian, but it's actually called Favorite Song.
Favorite song, yes. I can't remember the Favorito Cantori or something like that. I don't know. I don't speak Italian. But yeah, favorite song. Also, something that has happened since the last time we did a review was the first volume of the soundtrack has been released.
Oh, it's so good.
Every single song has an Italian title. And there are a couple of pieces of music on that soundtrack that are absolutely phenomenal to listen to.
I mean, the main theme.
The main theme is great. JoJo!
I love it. It's so stupid.
Oh man, I love how every single part theme just sandwiches in the word JoJo in some way. But so definitely go listen to the first volume of the soundtrack. It's like all the music so far has been wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get back to the torture dance. Okay,
it's so good.
It is one of the best.
That good.
It was one of the best individual anime scenes of 2018, bar none.
I love the cutaways to Zucchiardo's face, like how the art style changes. It's so good.
It looks like a Picasso painting.
It
looks like a moving Picasso painting every time it switches back to his face.
Just looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh God, I could watch that over and over again. And like I said before, that alone was worth 2 years of waiting for this anime.
Oh, for sure. God damn.
But no. So that the whole reason I got to talking about that song was, although the song itself is an original song.
Yeah.
It borrows very heavily from the beat and the rhythm of a Prince song called Pussy Control, which is a great song in and of itself, and you should definitely go listen to it if you haven't. And there's a couple of people who have remixed that entire scene and putting the song Pussy Control in, and it fits perfectly.
Dope.
That's obviously they didn't. I don't think that any anime studio has anywhere near enough money to license a Prince song at this point, because since he has died, his music has become insanely expensive to license.
Mm-hmm.
So if they weren't going to put an actual Prince song in, this was good enough to be true.
This is more than enough, dude. I'm so happy with this.
But one last thing before we move on: if you actually go to the official YouTube upload, like Prince's YouTube channel, where all the music is uploaded, and you go to the Pussy Control video, almost all of the recent comments are all JoJo memes.
I'm not surprised. Again, I mean, I think
I believe the top comment the last time I checked was, "Man, this song has vocal percussion coming through on a whole nother level."
I'm not surprised. You know what's the top comment on Prince's video of Soft and Wet? 4 testicles. God bless the JoJo community.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's move on to something else that happened in this episode span.
That was also wonderful.
We were also introduced to a new, what are we going to call these? Joe girls?
A mainstay character.
Joe gals? Joe gals. Joe gals is better. Joe gals.
Okay, I'm living the podcast.
Trish.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding.
Wow, it's rude, but okay.
Sorry.
But no, so I have to ask, as someone who doesn't or hasn't read the manga and didn't really know what to expect coming in, what did you actually think of her introduction?
She was cool. I mean, it was pretty obvious something's up with her, because at first it was like, oh, there's another janitor over there. And it's like, I had a feeling something was coming. And when she appeared, it's like, oh, she's dope. Okay, I like her already. She punches and kicks. That's cool. I'm into that. And then
and stabs.
And
stabs Narancia in the face.
Stupid Narancia. But yeah, she's dope.
Hey,
I mean,
hey. He is a good boy.
You can't deny the boy.
He is mildly retarded, yes, but he is a good boy.
Anyway, we'll get to Narancia in a bit. But yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't seen that much of her in this batch of episodes. But she's cool. I mean, and she's connected to the boss, which, I mean, I wonder what's up with that. She doesn't even know how he looks like, so okay. I'll say she's intriguing.
Yeah.
Cool design.
She's kind of a bitch when you first meet her. She's kind of a bitch. Were you actually surprised that you find out when you actually meet Trish that not everyone in Passione has a stand? Were you actually surprised about that?
Not really, because the older guy that was guarding her didn't have a stand either, right? I mean, it seems like not the entirety of the organization is comprised of stand users. So it's like, okay, it was like, okay, all right. Then again, here's the thing.
When I read the manga, I was kind of surprised by that, because you kind of introduced this organization thinking, wow, every single person in this organization has a stand of some kind.
She's the daughter of the boss, so who knows? But here's the thing. We live in a JoJo world where there are stand arrows, so I'm like, okay.
That's true. You can give anyone a stand so long as they can survive being stabbed by the arrow. Yeah. So I guess it's not entirely unthinkable.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be interested to see what you think of how Trish evolves over the course of this story, because there really is there's a lot of fucking dogs in the background. There's one of two minds when it comes to Trish in the fandom. There's people who like genuinely love her because she kind of has this kind of growth arc throughout the rest of the story, and there's people who just fucking hate her because she's acting such a bitch when she's
she's a bitch, but I'm intrigued enough. Like, I do want to see if she's an actual character that I actually like, and I want to see more of her. That's what I want to see from her. So we'll see. But
also, that dog in the background needs a sand arrow.
Shink.
Back in
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm super intrigued to see what's up with Trish. She seems cool, and again, her design is just phenomenal.
Yes, and her math-inspired outfit. With just mathematical symbols all over it.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. That's interesting.
Yes. And her Minera Wata. Minera Wata.
That's so dumb.
Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is one of the things that we did get in this 7 episode span is we got to see the backstory of 2 more members of Bruno's squad, that being Mista and Naranjo,
and even Fugo.
I just want to, Fugo
apparently
too.
It's anime original, but we'll get to that as well.
Yes, it is. But I want to talk specifically about Naranja's backstory because my God, is it sad?
Yeah, that's kind of. I sense a trend of people getting fucked over and then leading them to Passion, so yeah. Poor Naranja.
Yeah. I mean, Naranja, like, his mom dies because of a fucking
and then
eye
gets
disease.
used by that
and then
fucker.
Yeah, the guy tells him to dye his hair just like he that has his and style his hair just the same way so he can go commit a crime and then Naranja take the fall for it. And yes, Naranja is mildly retarded, so he falls for this very easily. But it's still sad. Like, he gets used, and then he comes back, and then no one wants anything to do with him because he gets like mistreated while he's in, I guess, what the Italian equivalent of juvenile detention. And then he literally thinks for like almost a year that he has a fucking eye disease that he's gonna die from.
Yeah, that's just depressing as fuck. Which is, I didn't expect that from a JoJo backstory.
By the way, are you also sensing a trend with these backstories where everyone comes to Bruno?
Yeah,
he actually ends up being the only one that gives a shit about all these people?
Bruno is almost like the main character of this part, which is weird. Which is so weird.
Yes, you are not the first person to make that determination, by the way. It's actually sort of a running like debate in at least in the people who read the manga, whether Bruno is supposed to be the main character of this part or not, and then you have like the quote unquote main JoJo not being the focus of this part. Which I don't want to give too much away for anime only watchers who may be listening to this, because I mean eventually we are going to do a complete rundown of the show, but it's going to be, for those of you who have started to think this, I want you to pay very close attention to how Bruno is treated throughout the rest of the show.
Here's the thing. Like, so think of part 3. The character with the most arc, I would say, that part was Polnareff, not Jotaro. In part 4, the character who I'd say was definitely had the most, like, let's say, not subtle of an arc was Koichi, not Josuke. Right?
Yeah, they're the ones you see grow the most, for sure.
So,
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of makes sense, to be honest.
Well, since you brought up anime original material, do you want to talk about Fugo's backstory?
Fugo? Oh my boy!
I just want to say, so there's a fair amount of people out there, artists included, who do a lot of crack JoJo ships. Let me tell you something. The only true gay JoJo ship I will ever accept is Fugo x Naranja. So fuck all of you out there that pair up Jotaro with Kakyoin. Fuck you.
Why do you pair? Why is Fugo and Naranja your ship? Unless it gets to spoilers that are yet to come.
Oh, it doesn't really, not really spoilers. It's just, number one, they're fucking cute as hell together. Number two, they spend a lot of time together, and Fugo actually genuinely cares about Narancia. Actually, if you pay attention, and you'll I think you'll see this more as it goes on, Fugo kind of sets himself up as Narancia's like big brother figure.
He's like, yeah.
But I don't want to get too much further into that because there's minor spoilers. But no, Fugo's backstory is pretty much anime original. And I thought the David production did a really good job with it.
It's pretty good. It's like, I liked it.
It's also very believable.
Yeah. He's like a really smart dude that people expected so much of him. Those expectations kind of crushed him, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Also, not too subtle with the he goes to this private school and gets boinked in the butt. Real subtle there, David Productions. What are you trying to say?
We're a Christian-friendly show.
Yeah. This is a Christian show. I mean, never mind the fact that we beat the shit out of everyone, but this is a Christian show. No, I was really, really surprised about Fugo's backstory and what David Production was able to do with that. Actually, so far, the anime original stuff that they've been adding in has been fantastic. It almost makes me wonder if Araki himself is not helping them write this.
I want to dig up some interviews.
But he forgets everything, so who knows? He's probably forgotten that Part 5 even existed until they told him, hey, we're going to do a adaptation of Part 5. He's like, oh, when did I make that?
Yeah. I wonder how close they are in working with Araki, because the adaptation is like vision that David Production always had for it. Was like, we want to make an even better version of the manga, or like make like at least improve parts of the manga that weren't as great. And it seems like
and they're also using this to fill up like minor plot holes too, which is great.
Yeah, and it's so good. Like the scene that sort of shows the squad that our gang is about to face, like with their mates that were like killed in that interrogation. That thing was fucking brutal. And then people were like, "Oh, that's original." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Well, and it's also great that, and I've noticed this more in the Part 5 anime so far than I have in any other part that David Production has done, is like they're calling back to stuff from previous parts that were also anime original. Like, the best example so far is the Part 3 picture, which was an anime original. And you see it in Part 5, which is also obviously anime original, which I think it's great because David Production has proven already that they genuinely care about this source material and they want to do it justice. But I think at this point, they're going above and beyond to show how much they care about this source material, and they want the adaptation to be as good as possible.
Which is awesome. I'm so happy with it.
I honestly wish that more anime studios would take this approach to adapting older shit. Like, seriously. There's so many anime studios that will take like an old thing, like, not that this was actually bad, this is actually not the greatest example, but like something else from last year, 2018, was Megalobox, which was meant to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Ashita no Joe, which was it's a phenomenal manga from way back before any of us were born, that I think like Megalobox ended up being a great anime series, but it was only 12 episodes long. And it's like, wow, just imagine if this had been like a 36 or a 48 episode anime, like the long form story you could have told with this like would have been phenomenal. It was great as it was, but like I really wish that since they were doing a retelling of a really old manga, they would have done something even more grandiose. But I honestly can't complain about what we were given. But it's that kind of like thing that David Production is doing with the JoJo manga with their anime. It's like, God, I wish more anime studios would actually give a shit about the manga that they're adapting. They just
put so many other like studios to shame. Like, if we want to talk about another adaptation that wasn't so good, I mean, Berserk 2016. Remember that shit show? I mean,
Yeah, it was like, hey, let's show off this new animation technique. It's shit, but let's show it off.
It's like with JoJo. It's like you have one of the most beloved mangas in like ever in the world. Like people love and adore this show, and it's so like fun to see that the people who are actually working on it, not only they love it, but it seems like they are having fun working on it. And it's like, man, if only any other like all adaptations were received this treatment. It's like, please.
And you know, I hate to use this comparison because like Studio Trigger mostly does anime original stuff, but everything that Studio Trigger does is treated like a passion project. And that's almost how David Production is treating the JoJo anime, like as a passion project, which is just being worked on by many people. Which is awesome. Yeah. I mean, hell, David Production even made what should have been like the most blasé manga adaptation ever, Cells at Work, into a phenomenal show last year. God. Like, anyway, eventually you and I should probably get together and just do an episode about David Production, because as good as they do the JoJo stuff, they also have done a lot of other
and
stuff.
They've also done Sakura the Resets.
Yeah, well, let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Moving on. So, I guess this is going to be one of the last things we talk about then for this stretch of episodes. Let's talk about the stands.
Let's talk about the stands.
All right.
Wait, but first, before we get to like the stupid bad part about it, can we just take a minute and appreciate the fucking battles that we had so far? Cause man,
yes, yes, absolutely. Especially like, oh man, the Little Feet fight was really good.
Like the end of that fight where all like there's fire everywhere and then the colors change and the fire was like purple. And
then everyone's eyes turn red and it's like, oh shit, some stuff's going down.
Oh, but wait.
But yeah, I like how Niraj's solution to that whole fight is, I'm gonna commit arson.
Oh, but wait, can we one thing. Fuck you, Kakyoin, there are mirror worlds.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, the man in the mirror fight, which okay, of all of the localized stand names, Mirror Man is probably the best one so far. Well, yeah, Man in the Mirror is a Michael Jackson song. Yeah.
That fight was so good.
Okay. That fight was really good. It's so well drawn in the manga too.
Oh, Purple Haze, like the sound design of Purple Haze is amazing.
By the way, so for the Man in the Mirror fight, this is some behind the scenes manga stuff, so I know we're not actually talking about the manga. But do you know how Araki ended up drawing parts of that fight that took place in the mirror?
All right.
He put the paper down like in front of him, and then he had a mirror behind him, and he actually drew just using the mirror behind him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, how everything is written backwards in the Man in the Mirror fight, like on the trash can and everything. That's how he drew it in the manga.
That's amazing.
He drew it by just looking into the mirror to draw.
That's amazing.
I know.
God bless Araki.
He didn't do that for the entire run of the fight, but he did it for a lot of it, especially any part where you see writing that's done backwards.
Would make sense. Yeah. That's such a good fight.
I just thought it's a little tidbit that a lot of people don't realize about how that specific fight was drawn out, that I think people should be aware of.
That fight was so good. I mean, Purple Haze, man, that stand is so dope. Like its design and the power.
I know,
itself.
right? And Giorno's like solution to getting out of the fight was amazing.
That fucking brick snake.
The brick snake. Oh man,
so stupid. I love it.
Also another manga tidbit. If you go read that part of the manga, Araki draws that snake with the derpiest looking face. Like it's like that. The face is like, I don't want to be here.
Ooh, also, I love how Abakio is like, I would rather die than admit that Giorno is right.
Yes, while his arm is just leaking blood because his hand's been cut off.
So like, good.
God, I have to admit that he's right now.
I just love that delivery. The voice
Yeah, I
acting
know.
is so
Oh, man.
spot on. I love it. Also, before we
Yeah,
forget, fucking Mista versus Kraftwerk that was so good.
Oh, excuse me. You mean arts and crafts? Okay, can we talk? Yeah. So far, the localized stand names have not been that bad. Like, Gold Experience is called like, Golden Wind, which okay, fine. Zipper Man was kind of stupid. Was really stupid, actually. Sex Pistols called Six Bullets. Okay. Moody Blues, Moody Jazz. Okay. Purple Haze is Purple Smoke. Okay. Black Sabbath is Shadow Sabbath. Again, okay. But then you get to Naranja's stand, which is Aerosmith, and it's Lil Bomber. Excuse me, Crunchyroll. No. Excuse me, Crunchyroll. Aerosmith is not a 2-bit rapper with pink dreadlocks and facial tattoos. No.
Motherfucking Lil Bomber.
Lil Bomber. Like, seriously? Like, you couldn't have named it something. You could have named it Mr. Smith, and it would have been better than Little Bomber. And then the second one is Kraftwerk. It's called Arts and Crafts. Amazing. Like, really? Jesus.
Don't lie though. Christ. It's funny.
I will admit it made me laugh like a son of a bitch. Like, you have no idea. But I will say that they seem to be using many of the localizations that have been used in the games. So prepare for Spicy Lady instead of Spice Girl coming up.
Yeah, I'm ready for some spice.
But oh god, there was one. I know what it is. So there's going to be a fight later on with a stand called Green Day.
Ooh.
The localized name for that in the JoJo All-Star Battle game is Green Tea. So prepare for that.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, some of the fights have been
all
great.
Of them have been great.
The animation has been absolutely
I'm
perfect.
serious. There's
so
not
far.
been a single fight where I was like, okay, let's move on. No, not all of them were fucking great. Which is
but
I love it.
And then there's the fight with the truck driver. He keeps telling different things to him. He's like, I don't know what to do. And then it's finally over. And
Jorno is like,
Jorno gets in and says, I gotta go to the top.
This show is so fucking good. I'm so surprised. Like, don't worry. I'm happy about it. But I'm so surprised how consistently good Part 5 has been.
Especially in terms of its animation. I will say this. I am worried slightly because I know some of the stuff that's coming, and I know they're going to need a significant animation budget to pull some of this stuff off. I really hope it's not going to just start going downhill, because I mean, even you have to admit you love Part 4, but there were parts of the end where there was really shoddy animation. Which, it was cleaned up for the Blu-ray release, admittedly, but the broadcast version that we got was not that great.
It wasn't
in certain
bad,
parts.
but it was like, oh, okay.
Well, the thing that got me was in Part 4, especially in the last, I'd say 10 episodes, was that people's facial animations just started to go to shit.
Yeah, there were some, really bad shots.
Oh, man, especially Killer Queen. He had no detail on his face.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But anyway, I'm really hoping that doesn't happen going forward, because you're going to need a good animation budget later.
I trust in David Production.
So I have to ask, so we're 13 episodes in. The 14th episode actually released on the day we're recording this, although I haven't
Me neither.
Watched it yet. I don't think
probably a new OP.
Okay. There probably is going to be a new OP. I do want to say Fighting Gold, it has been a really great OP. I'm still very much leery about the ED, and I know it's probably not going to change.
Yeah, I'll miss Fighting Gold. It's been a real banger.
But I will live with it. But yeah, Fighting Gold has been great.
Bless Coda, thank you.
Coda, please stop speaking English.
Yeah, Coda, don't.
Also, something that was actually revealed last night, the night before we recorded this, is some of the voice actors and producers of JoJo's Part 5 and Coda himself are going to be getting together for... So, the show is going to start being rebroadcasted from the beginning on, I believe, Sunday nights in Japan. I don't remember exactly what time, but during these rebroadcasts, these people are going to get together and do basically like running commentaries of the episodes, and there's going to be different people on each episode doing the commentaries, so that's really cool. I also think these commentaries, I don't know for sure, but I do think these commentaries are going to be broadcast on Japanese television, and I do know for a fact that regardless of whether they are or not, there are a couple of translation groups that have said they are going to try their best to get a hold of, at the very least, the audio from these commentaries and translate them. So that'll be cool. Listen. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. I was really surprised that they decided to do this. So fucking David Productions is going all out with this part, which is I personally think to be expected, because I do believe in Japan this is by far one of the most favorite parts of JoJo's. So I'm not surprised that David Production is taking this very seriously. Yeah, that's been parts 7 through 13. So thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to this. We hope you enjoy it, because
we'll try and make it an actual monthly show, we promise.
That's on you, though.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, if you haven't seen our first one, please go check that out. Also, if this is the future, first of all, hi from the past. And you haven't checked out our subsequent episodes, please check those out as well. If you want to check out previous episodes of any episode of the podcast that we've done, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, or iTunes. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and have a little more fun, you can join our Discord server, become a member of our Facebook group, follow our Twitch channel, and visit our website. If you have any questions, comments, criticisms, or concerns on this or any episode, feel free to either shoot us an email or leave us a comment down below. Links to all of the subsequent things I mentioned before will be down below in the description. As always, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, Hoser.
Good night, everyone.
You know what this was? This was vocal percussion coming on a whole other level.
From my mind.
Yes.
We're golden, we're